So the first thing we're going to do is just a tip protector. So we are going to start and mark the top of the PIP joint. Good. And we're going to go about 1/4 of an inch. Good. So once we construct it, it's not going to go past the PIPJ. So they can still have flexion and extension. So after you have your pattern, you're going to make sure it's going to fit your patient. Good. And I'll probably trim it up a little bit. Then I'm going to get my splinting material. I need a yellow marker, don't I? So for the next one, I will get a yellow marker. And I will cut this out. Awful for your scissors and your thumb. Water, get a hut. We're going to trim this up. And for this splint, you're going to want your patient just positioned like this, since you're going to go on the palmar and dorsal side. With Aquaplast material, once it is clear, that's whenever it is ready. So you can still see that it's white. It's still heating up. And this drapes pretty well, so it might stretch out a little bit once you're applying it to. You always want to round the sides, making it a little thinner. Nice smooth cuts. You don't have jagged edges. Good. All right. So now I will place it right above the PIP. Just kind of fold the sides in a little bit so it forms well. Have that patient straighten their finger. Good. And I have very soft hands. Make sure that patient can bend that finger, good, and then up. And then once it starts drying, it'll start becoming solid again. And this is basically going to protect anything at the tip. So if it's a mallet finger, or if they have a issue with their distal phalanx, or with their nail bed, this is just going to protect it so they can still use their hand, but every time they hit it, they're not going to go through the roof. Good. Keep taking it on and off, just so you know that it's not too tight. It's not going to get stuck on them. And you can see there's no jagged edges, so it's not sharp. And then whenever they're going to put their fingers together, it's not too far sticking out, so it's not going to rub the other fingers raw. And then once it is pretty solid, you can take it off and let it dry. And then I will get strapping material. So I'll measure it. Good. And a tip is, if you warm it up, either on a hot gun or on the side of your splint pan, get a little warm, it's going to stick better to your splint. Good. And then I'm going to round my edges. And then I will place the Velcro snugly. Good. Refit it on my patient. And you can always put another piece of Velcro on this side if you think there's going to be an issue with it sticking. And then you round your edges of your strapping. There we go. There is your tip protector. How does that feel?
Wonderful.
Perfect, good. And you make sure they can still bend, good. And that it's snug enough that it's not gonna just pop right off, but not so tight that it's gonna cut off circulation. Good.
Perfect.
Perfect. So if you're too long on the sides here, then it's not gonna fit tight enough with the strapping. Okay. All right, so that is your tip protector.